Coronation Street actor Sydney Martin is currently at the center of one of the soap's biggest stories. Her character Betsy Swain suffered a stroke due to being strangled during sex by boyfriend Dylan Wilson. While Betsy says it was not rough and consensual, the brief loss of breath led to complications that caused the stroke, and in the eyes of law, what Dylan did is still considered a crime. But while the soap has been praised for shining a light on the dangers of the sexual practice, one element has received criticism, something Sydney responded to. On TikTok, a manual handling trainer called Jessie pointed out a scene where Betsy was moved from her bed to her chair, and explained that the way it was done in the show was not how healthcare staff are allowed to maneuver patients in the UK anymore. It's called the drag lift, and it was removed from care years ago because it can cause things like dislocation, she stated, before expressing her concern that Corrie might have given the people the wrong idea about how to move someone in such a situation. Sydney thanked Jessie for her video, and explained that there were stroke advisors consistently on set, but clearly this wasn't updated knowledge. In a further comment, the actor said she really appreciates this being pointed out and completely agreed about the unfortunate error. I've been very thorough with my personal research. However, some details are out of my control. We film at a very fast pace and ultimately things manage to slip through the cracks, Sydney wrote, adding, I will pass this on to production as it's very important to get right. Jessie thanked Sydney for her response and stated that while it was disappointing that the drag lift was shown in such a big show, she totally understands. It's almost impossible to get every detail of every story 100% correct, and praised both the soap and the performance. The soap has worked on the storyline with the Institute for Addressing Strangulation, FAS, the Stroke Association and Saphaline, while Sydney has detailed the ways the makeup team have created the way Betsy's appearance has changed post-stroke. Coronation Street star Sydney Martin has addressed the mixed reactions surrounding one of the soap's most emotional recent storylines, speaking out after some viewers questioned the show's portrayal of Betsy's recovery following her devastating stroke. The storyline has become one of the biggest talking points among Coronation Street fans in recent weeks. While many viewers praised the ITV soap for tackling such a serious health issue with sensitivity, others argued that certain parts of the recovery process appeared too quick or dramatic for television. The debate has spread across social media, with fans sharing personal experiences of stroke recovery and discussing how accurately the storyline reflects real life. Now, Sydney Martin has responded to those criticisms, offering insight into the extensive work that went into bringing the emotional story to the screen. Speaking about the storyline, Martin explained that everyone involved understood from the beginning that they were handling a subject that affects thousands of families. Rather than focusing solely on dramatic moments, the production team wanted to show the emotional impact a stroke can have, not just on the victim, but on friends, relatives, and the wider community. According to Martin, the cast spent significant time researching stroke survivors' experiences before filming began. They spoke with medical advisors and worked closely with consultants to understand the physical and emotional challenges faced during recovery. It's incredibly important to tell these stories with care, Martin explained. We know many people watching have lived through something similar themselves, either personally or through a loved one. Those words have resonated with many fans who appreciated hearing that the production had taken real-life experiences into consideration. The actress acknowledged that no television drama can perfectly recreate every medical situation. A soap operates under time constraints, with storylines needing to move forward while balancing dozens of different characters and plots. We're telling a continuing drama, Martin said. Sometimes recovery takes months or years in real life, but television has to find a balance while still respecting those experiences. That balance has become the center of online discussion. Some viewers felt Betsy's recovery showed remarkable progress within a relatively short period, arguing that real stroke rehabilitation is often far slower and far more unpredictable. Others defended the storyline, saying the emotional struggles, fear, frustration, and uncertainty portrayed by the character captured the reality even if the timeline had been condensed. Medical dramas and soap operas have long faced similar criticism whenever they tackle complex health issues. Writers often compress timelines to maintain narrative momentum while still attempting to educate audiences about important conditions. Martin believes those conversations are actually a positive outcome. If people are discussing stroke awareness because of our story, then that's something worthwhile. The actress emphasized that increasing awareness was always one of the production's main objectives. Stroke remains one of the leading causes of disability, and recognizing symptoms quickly can dramatically improve treatment outcomes. While Coronation Street primarily exists to entertain viewers, the series has built a strong reputation over decades for highlighting real-life social and medical issues. Previous storylines have explored mental health, eating disorders, domestic abuse, cancer, dementia, and addiction. Many have been praised for encouraging viewers to seek help or begin conversations they otherwise might have avoided. The Betsy storyline follows in that tradition. Throughout the episodes, audiences have watched Betsy struggle not only with the physical effects of her stroke but also with the emotional impact of suddenly losing confidence and independence. Scenes showing her frustration over simple everyday tasks struck a chord with many viewers. Martin said filming those moments proved emotionally demanding. There were days when everyone on set became emotional because we knew how much these scenes might mean to people watching at home. The actress also praised her fellow cast members for helping create an authentic atmosphere during filming. Rather than treating the storyline as simply another dramatic twist, everyone approached it with respect and empathy. Fans have noticed that emotional commitment. Across social media, countless viewers shared messages describing how the storyline reminded them of parents, grandparents, siblings, or friends who had experienced strokes. Some thanked the soap for highlighting invisible challenges that continue long after hospital treatment ends. Others admitted certain scenes were difficult to watch because they mirrored their own family experiences so closely. Of course, not every response has been entirely positive. Critics argue that television sometimes risks creating unrealistic expectations about recovery. They worry audiences unfamiliar with stroke rehabilitation may assume progress always happens more quickly than it often does. Martin understands those concerns. She stressed that everyone's recovery journey is unique. No two people experience stroke in exactly the same way, she explained. Some recover faster than others, while many face ongoing challenges for years. That message has become central to the show's response. Rather than suggesting there is one typical recovery path, the production hopes viewers understand that every medical journey differs depending on the individual, the severity of the stroke, available rehabilitation, and countless other factors. Soap writers also face the challenge of maintaining engaging storytelling without overwhelming audiences with lengthy medical detail. The creative team reportedly worked alongside health professionals to ensure major aspects of the storyline remained grounded in medical reality while still fitting the pace of serial television. Martin believes that collaboration helped strengthen the final result. She praised the writers for listening carefully to expert advice and remaining willing to adjust scenes when necessary. Behind the scenes, rehearsals reportedly involved detailed discussions about physical movement, speech patterns, fatigue, and emotional responses commonly experienced after a stroke. Even subtle gestures were carefully considered. Those preparations allowed Martin and her co-stars to approach each episode with greater confidence. As the storyline continues, viewers are expected to see that recovery is far from over. Instead of presenting a simple happy ending, future episodes are likely to explore ongoing setbacks, emotional hurdles, and the gradual rebuilding of confidence. That continued focus may address some of the criticism surrounding the pacing of earlier episodes. Martin hinted that audiences should expect further emotional moments ahead. She suggested Betsy's journey is entering a new phase, one centered less on immediate survival and more on adapting to long-term changes. For many stroke survivors, that adjustment period can be every bit as challenging as the initial medical emergency. Friends and family also continue facing their own emotional struggles, learning how best to provide support while encouraging independence. Those relationships are expected to remain an important part of the ongoing storyline. The actress hopes viewers continue approaching the episodes with empathy. Rather than judging every medical detail, she encourages audiences to focus on the broader message about resilience, recovery, and community support. It's about hope, Martin said. Even during incredibly difficult times, people can find strength through those around them. That hopeful message has become a hallmark of Coronation Street's biggest issue-based stories. Despite the criticism, the storyline has undoubtedly succeeded in generating conversation. Viewers are discussing stroke symptoms, rehabilitation, emotional recovery, and the importance of supporting loved ones facing life-changing health challenges. For Sydney Martin, that may ultimately be the greatest achievement. While debate over realism is inevitable whenever television tackles serious subjects, encouraging awareness and compassion remains the production's ultimate goal. As Betsy's journey continues on the cobbles, fans will undoubtedly keep watching to see how her recovery unfolds. Whether viewers praise the storyline or question certain creative decisions, one thing is clear: the story has sparked meaningful discussion far beyond Weatherfield. And in the world of television drama, creating conversations that extend into real life is often the strongest sign that a storyline has made a lasting impact. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and streams on ITVX. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Crown ST.